We're just gonna have to deal with it. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, and the camera's too high. Okay, we're a little bit downer, a little bit down, a little bit more downer. Girl, let me tell you something about these edibles. First of all, I think they're time released, number one, and waking up high is like this is definitely a weekend edible. Not on a school night, kids. Not on a school night. Not on a school night, kids. Not on a school night. Okay. So do I need to start this all over? Because I didn't even realize that I had started it. Girl, there's lint on this lens right here. I know you can't see it, and I should not have even brought it to your attention, but it's gonna annoy me. And I don't know what's going on with like I don't know what's going on. So, girl, we are just down here. We are just doing our thing. It is Friday. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and get these videos out. I just been like, I don't know, just doing my thing with the videos. You know what I'm saying? And they're here. They're recorded. They just have to be edited um and published, edited and published. If you're not on Patreon, you can go find me. I'm on Patreon as well, posting there like once a week. Um, so that's what I'm doing down to the Patreon. I'm trying to, get this thing out. I don't want it to start bending. Yeah. So it's Friday. We all got jobs, we all got shit to do, but we still down on YouTube doing our thing, right? We down on YouTube, we doing our thing, we watching videos, we're in the comments. Did you comment? Did you like? Did you subscribe to the video yet? This thing started coiling up, which I don't like. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, so let's see what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I'm telling you, I don't know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to live my life like it was golden. And that's exactly what I was doing. And when I live my life like it's golden, I don't tend to be online paying attention to anything else. All right, let's make this a little bigger. I'm taking my freedom and putting it on the shelf, put it in my song, okay? All right, so let's go. Oh my God, what are 10 comments? What is this? I don't know. People are weird in the comments. They get really upset and they start. I don't start cussing people out until they start cussing at me. Then I start cussing them out. But there's this clip going around of this little boy getting his hair cut. Um, and they didn't ask the mom about cutting his hair. They just cut the little boy's hair. He wanted his hair cut. He was happy that his hair was cut, but they did not consult the mother. And I said that it's over. I said he wouldn't see them again because it's overstepping boundaries. It's not about hair. It's just you don't, just because a child wants to have his hair cut and he tells grandma he wants to have his hair cut, grandma cuts his hair without consulting the mother. What if he had a job that was dependent on his long hair? Like, what if he had like a little line of hair care products coming out and they were going to surprise y'all with it, right? What if anything? It could be anything. I think it's overstepping boundaries when a grandparent or an aunt or whoever is not the parent or guardian oversteps what the mother has in place for the child to give the child what they want just because the child wants it. Um, I think that is an overstep of boundaries. I think that is very rude. I think it is disrespectful. And I think it's disrespectful to the mother of the child, the parent or the guardian, whoever the parent or the guardian is. Because to me, I feel like here I made this. Here's the post. It says, "Grandmother cuts her grandson's hair off without his mother's permission. His aunt said she doesn't see an issue despite the mother being upset. Don't leave your son with his grandma if you don't want his haircut when you get back from vacation." And then like they are filming it and everything. And while he does look happy about his hair being cut, I said he would never see those people again. And then this woman is going back and forth with me. She's very upset. She says, over hair that can grow back, y'all best interests do not be for the kid. Take someone away from him that's important in his life over a haircut. Then another person says, the baby is smiling in the picture. He wanted his haircut. Some boy moms do too much and want the boy to be a girl. I've seen it, buying boys lip gloss and gloss and dolls, shaking my head. So I said, it's not about the hair. I said, it's the act of circumventing the mother and the guardian of the child and doing something without her knowledge, no matter if it's a haircut or giving him a food that he wants that he's restricted from. You cannot go against what the parent or guardian has put in place without consulting them before you take the child's request into consideration. And you know, I'm all about giving the child a choice. So if the child comes and says, Grandma, I want my hair cut. Your mom knows you want your hair cut? Yes, I've been telling my mom I want my hair cut. Well, let's call your mom and see what she says. Okay, let's call mommy. Mommy. Okay, mommy, I want my hair cut. Yes, baby says he wants his hair cut. Is it okay if we cut his hair? Well, I really didn't want his hair cut because he has something coming up for a hair show or something. Oh, okay, so we won't cut it this week, but we could cut it after he's done with that. Or he wants his hair cut. Mommy, is it okay if we cut his hair? Um, you sure you want your hair cut, little junior baby? Yeah, mommy, I want my hair cut. Okay, well, I really wanted to be there for you to cut your hair, but you know, mommy's on vacation, so you have fun and get your hair cut. Yeah, go ahead and cut his hair. Call the mother. Like, what is wrong with calling the mom? Y'all like to act like y'all like to use children to remind a parent that they don't have control. You like, and that's I think it's an awful way to position yourself. If you're the grandmother and you want to give the baby what he wants, you still contact the mother. I just so, and I said she should have been notified that they were going to cut his hair, and she should have gotten on the phone with him for him to say that he wants his haircut. Like, and then even ask him, do you want your haircut? Are they trying to, like, you know, coerce you into getting your haircut because they don't like the way, you know, because girls have their hair is long or whatever, you know, they could be doing that. Oh no, mommy, they keep trying to tell me I want my haircut because it's like a girl. Well, you don't have to get your haircut if you don't want to. That there's like so many different ways to include the mother in not even the decision making, but just letting her know, right? If she's the type of mother that wants her child to make its own decisions, then because that would be something that I would do. Like I would expect you to call me. If you don't call me and tell me that you're doing something with my kid, that okay. Let's see. Hopefully it stays. Hold on, let's check. Hopefully I didn't lose too much. Hopefully I didn't lose any. Hopefully it's just no mic. Well, anyways, what I was saying is you don't circumvent. I feel like it's okay to contact the mom and say, "Hey, little Johnny wants his hair cut. Is it okay that we cut his hair?" Yes. I mean, he could have they could have anything planned. He could be like literally he could have a contract, a modeling contract based on his hair, and y'all didn't cut his hair. Oh my god, that's needing the battery too. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna have to charge both of the mic and the receiver, because both of them are blinking. So let me do a 15-minute charge, and then I'm gonna come back and we can finish talking. All right, I'll be right back.
15 minutes later.
Okay, we're back. So I had to charge this battery and stuff. So we did a little, probably 20-minute charge, and hopefully it's charged up really good. But what I was saying about that was basically, when I'm not going to get all up in arms about it, if you take my child and do something with them without my permission, like cut their hair or give them a food that they might be restricted from because they're allergic, you can't give a child something just because they want it without consulting the parent. And I'm all for agency, I'm all for autonomy, but just like a child loving peanut butter and the grandmother not having an understanding that the child is allergic to peanut butter, and the child says, I want some peanut butter, grandma, and you're like, I'm not calling your mom because I do what I want to do. She don't have no control over here. She ain't running nothing over here. And you give the baby peanut butter and the baby's allergic to peanut butter, and all you had to do was call and be like, hey, little Johnny wants some peanut butter. Is it okay for him to have some peanut butter? No, it's not. He's not. He's allergic. We actually just got the test back the other day. Do not give him any peanut butter. He will go into anaphylactic shock and his throat will close up. Right? You're not thinking about that. It's not about a haircut. It's about consulting the parent or guardian about something the child wants to do. Nobody's saying the child can't have his requests, approved, but we're saying you contact the parent or guardian to ask them, right? The boy could be being coerced to getting his hair cut. I don't know. I want to talk to my son and see if that's really what he wants. You really want to get your hair cut? Okay, you don't want to wait for mommy to come back from vacation? No, I want to cut now. Okay, I'll tell him let you cut your hair. We can't cut your hair right now because you have a photo shoot with this company. They want you to help them sell their hair care products to other little kids with long hair. So you can't cut your hair this week. You're gonna have to wait about 2 weeks, and then we can cut your hair. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for calling me, girl. Y'all would have really messed up our 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 contract if you would have cut his hair without calling me. I'm so glad y'all called me, because he's about to be doing a photo shoot next week. Can you imagine? He could anything. You don't know. That's what I'm saying. You have to call and consult. And this thing where you feel like a grandparent doesn't have to ask the parent permission, that's just simply not true. You have to ask the parent for permission. That's the parent and the guardian. And they know what the child needs and what the child doesn't need. Y'all always talking about this thing where, oh, the kid, just because they say they trans doesn't mean they are trans. Well, just because a child say he wants peanut butter doesn't mean he can have peanut butter. Anything could be happening, and the people in the comments are upset because I'm saying he won't be able to see the parent. He won't be able to see granny. You want to cut his hair. So I said, so that means any adult will be able to supervise your child and give the child whatever they want as long as they're smiling without consulting you first. Got it. Would it be a different story if the babysitter cut the child's hair, or would it be the same since that's what the child wants and they're smiling? She said the child is happy and they're smiling. What does that mean? What does that mean? What if the child had a anything? I said it's not about the hair. It's the act of circumventing the mother and the guardian of the child and doing something without her knowledge. No matter if it's a haircut or giving him food that he wants that he's restricted from. You cannot go against what the parent or guardian has put in place without consulting them before you take the child's request into consideration. She should have been notified that they are going to cut his hair, and she could have been on the phone with him to hear him say he wanted his hair cut, and then would have said okay to proceed to cut his hair. Mind you, they did not contact the parent or guardian of the child and went against what the parent or guardian had set in place. Long hair does not equate to being like a girl, and if you're teaching boys around you that's the worst thing that they could be like is like a girl, they're probably going to grow up to hate you and other girls around them. I said, so what'd she come back and say? You're reaching. We're talking about a haircut, not that other shit you saying, moving the goalposts. I said, I'm not reaching. I said, from the beginning, it wasn't about a haircut. It's about overstepping boundaries and not consulting the guardian of the child. But you're talking about the child is smiling and happy about it. It's not about what the child is happy and smiling about. It's about overstepping someone's boundaries and not respecting the parent or guardian. He can also like peanut butter, but let the grandmother or whoever is caring for the child give him peanut butter without the mother, and the child could be allergic to peanut butter. Now you've killed the child because they love peanut butter and you didn't call the mother to consult the mother. There's so many variables that go into how it's a mistake not to consult the parent. Nobody is saying that you have control over the child. Nobody is saying that you don't allow the child to make its own decision. If the child wants his haircut, let him get his haircut. Is it going to be the same when the child wants to get his ears pierced? So can we go get the ears pierced too? Okay, is it going to be the same when he's 16 years old and wants a tattoo? It's going to be the same. He wants a tattoo. Okay. If that's what he wants, then okay, he's going to get that. My son, what I, I didn't say anything about an ear pierce till the day he asked me to get his ear pierced. Okay, you want your ear pierced? Go ahead. Let's go. I'll go with you to go get your ear pierced. Make sure you got all the good stuff with the right stuff in there. You just have to consult the parent. That's what I feel about it. I said somebody said stop cutting people's hair. I would have raised hell. I would go ghost. Your hair holds a lot of energy. You can't be doing that, especially to a child who doesn't understand yet. I said it's so weird that people are equating long hair with being like a girl, but doesn't your image of Jesus have long hair? So was Jesus like a girl? This would be the day a nigga's mama got beat up and the family would just have to be divided. And it's not, you don't even have to beat anybody up. You just be like, okay, I'm picking my son up and you're not going to see my son for a long time or ever again, because that's just, it's out of order. It's not respectful. And that something similar like that happened to me where when my children were under my father's care, he acted like he was able to make decisions that were out of what was agreed upon. And then when I became upset about it, he literally told me, you don't have any control over this. You're not in control of this. Like, they literally don't want a woman to have control, especially, and it's crazy because over her own children, and not really controlling her own children, but being in control of what is happening in her child's life. And then somebody trying to act like, well, your children are not under your supervision right now, so you don't have any control. While technically that's true, does not mean that you are able to make decisions for me on my behalf for my children without my permission or approval. That doesn't work like that. It just doesn't, it just simply doesn't work like that. Okay, let's see what else is happening. All right, so let's go. This is the neighborhood talk. All right, let's see. All right. Grandma, no. Sexy Red, no. DoorDash, no. T.S. Madison claps back at Jess Hilarious for saying Maddie could be a king of comedy, not a queen. And she tells Jess Hilarious to sit down, Meteor Man. The comments never pass the vibe check. It's so gross, the comments. The comments never pass the vibe check. But one good thing about the comments is that it does reveal the straight black women who are homophobic and transphobic. It really does. And I love to just go through and click to see if any of them are following me, to see, because, and it's so funny because yesterday before I had went to bed, I saw this clip of this guy saying that um, dating bisexual women, um, he's more comfortable dating bisexual women. They seem to be more accepting. He said straight women, it feels like they're very homophobic, and it feels like they're at a slave auction block when dating a straight woman, and that they feel like bisexual women are more open and more, um, they go with the flow better. There was a lot of different comments about it, and then the guy was like, it just seems like with straight women, they're very, it's very like conservative, like their ideas are really conservative. And that's what we're trying to say. And I'm like, a lot of black people don't realize like their blackness takes them out of being completely conservative, right? Because what they're conserving is whiteness. So if you are a black conservative, it already like goes, it's already a contradiction anyway.
Ever since I got this haircut, I've been pulling in joints more than I probably ever have in my entire life. Okay, I am grateful. I don't like the demographic shift though. When I had my locks in my industrial bar and everything, I was cleaning up with the alt baddies, the bisexual baddies, the Marxists, the anarchists, the agitators, and the people that have no idea what they're doing. But now that I got this like option one standard ass look, I'm not gonna lie, I've been pulling in a lot of straight women. This is the first time in my life that I've talked to straight women since I was 17. So it's been about 10 years, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. I'm not having a good time. I'm absolutely certain that this goes for both sides, but holy fucking shit, I have never ran into a more needy, annoying, dramatic group of people in my entire fucking life. Half of the time you can't even tell if they like you or not because they're so busy trying to fulfill some archetype to bring home to show off to their friends and family that half of the dates end up sounding like a contract negotiation or like a hostage swap. Like, do you even like me? I can't tell. Like, we're not vibing. We're not vibing. You're giving me terms of conditions of surrender. What the hell? Who wants to live like that? Like, I'm not surprised that there's a gender war going on. All of you are miserable because all of you are talking like you're buying a fucking slave. Do y'all like each other? When was the last time y'all just had a conversation that was really cracking the fuck up? Or when y'all really got into, like, nerded out on some shit? Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? There has to be a foundation for acquiescence. And they skip right past that shit. Not to mention all of them are quietly, wildly homophobic. It's weird. They bring it up out of fucking nowhere. And if you don't join in with them, then they sit there thinking that you will actually leave them for a man one day. And I'm like, what if I'm just not a piece of shit? Also, they're all still very weird about sex. Like, I thought we had gotten past that, you know, grew out of it in high school, but I guess not. It's like a strong point of pride for them to come off as somebody that just doesn't fuck. And that's kind of weird the same way it's weird for, like, when dudes really want you to know that they don't buy women anything. I don't spend a dime. It's like, okay, that's kind of, you don't have to, but it's weird to be this emotionally invested in it. Every single thing that I thought it was just naturally what two people that were attracted to each other would end up doing ends up being commodified and turned into bargaining chips. It's exhausting. Also, they're all trying to, like, twist your arm silently. They're like, as a man, well, I'm into men doing man things. Well, as a man, it's like, damn, bitch, what about me? What about as a me? Would you like to get to know me? I'm not going to contort myself into your idea of a dude. Just meet me and see if you fuck with it.
but that's what they're trying to conserve, and they're using the Bible to kind of support that. That's why it's white, male, heterosexual, Christian. Um, and a lot of them hold conservative ideas. A lot of them hold homophobic ideas and transphobic ideas and ideas against women, ideas against people who are not American. It's just really, a little bit unnerving to see, but there are so many women and a lot of Black women. And whenever Jess and T.S. Madison are going back and forth, I just tweeted it. It really reveals like who the snakes are in the field, and I appreciate that because I do want to know who I'm around who is not an ally to all women, because what I am an ally to all, an ally and accomplice to all women, and I'm not into the bigotry as it relates to trans people and queer people. I'm not really into that at all. And when they argue, it all like all the women in the comments saying, telling T.S. Madison, you want to be us, you want to be like, you want to be a woman like me. And it's like, it's not really a woman like you, like your representation, because we all have different representations and embody womanhood in a different way. And for you to tell a trans person that they want to be like you when there are probably other women who are born female who wouldn't want to be your version of womanhood, right? I have a version of womanhood that there are some women that would not want to be this version of womanhood. You have a version of womanhood that I'm sure I wouldn't want to be a version of womanhood. So it's always weird to me when I see a woman tell a trans woman, you want to be like me. Your version of womanhood is weird, lady. I don't really get jiggy with that version of womanhood. So I wouldn't even want to be that version of womanhood, right? You want to be a natural born woman. No, because there's actually no such thing as a natural born woman. Nobody is born a woman. No one's born a woman. A woman is a descriptor of an adult female, and it's a social descriptor. And I think that's what people don't understand, but they're so busy trying to conserve it. And I feel like when people are running around trying to conserve something, there is a fear that something is being lost. And I would like to, like, from folks, I want to understand like what's being lost if this has always existed, even before your social constructs. Third gender, two spirit people have always existed. So, what are you trying to conserve? A lie. It's a lie you're trying to conserve because it existed before you. So, you're like, I'm trying to conserve this traditional way of life. And it's like, that's something that's even, it's new. Even the idea of a nuclear family is less than 200 years old. That's not something that's a standard way of living. That's something that was designed in an effort to maintain control over society. You understand what I'm saying? So I find it's unnerving to witness once the snakes come out from the lawn and they cut the grass back and you see all the snakes slithering out. It's unnerving to see, but I'm always thankful for those people to be exposed, especially when it comes to like being homophobic and transphobic. But I have been seeing this conversation about straight women being extremely homophobic and transphobic. Um, and a lot of the comments, it looks like the MAGA section of the department store. It looks really, it's awful. Um, Madison has to stay in a man's place, but she's who you wish you were. Misgendering while not wanting to be misgendered will always be weird to me. It's I think what Madison is doing is, if you're going to say she's wrong for doing what Jess is doing, then you have to say what Jess is doing is wrong, because Jess usually does it first. Like, she says something first and then Madison responds, but then everybody tells Madison she shouldn't respond, and it's like, why should she just be able to say whatever the fuck she wants to say to me? And Jess is really mad because the center of the issue is men who desire trans women, and the man who desired her because he thought she was a trans woman and then no longer desired her once he found out she wasn't a trans woman. She has a very deep insecurity when it comes to that. And so, Madison, if you're going to come at me and say slick things to me, I'm going to say equally slick things to you. I'm going to misgender you. I'm going to say you look like Robert Townsend. I'm going to call you Meteor Man. I'm going to say all these things to you because when Charlemagne said, let's do a Queens of Comedy, and Charlemagne said, T.S. Madison, she didn't have to say, oh, that would be a Kings of Comedy. We're talking about Queens of Comedy. She didn't even have to say that. They could have kept talking, right? But Charlemagne threw that out there, and then Jess took the bait. And now Madison is responding. But the comments always are so atrocious and full of just hatred. Someone says TS's jealousy of women are strong. I'm always going to be on Jess's side when it comes to this. So they call born women men, and it's not slander or demeaning, but women can't call these men without them crying. The fucking audacity. Jess is a comedian, so she's never not going to pass the opportunity for a quick jab. The irony of it all. TS stay in some shit. Calling a real woman a man while you are a whole man trying to be a woman is definitely got to be the eighth deadly sin they forgot to include in the Bible. Y'all got TS thinking they really women. It's terrible. And it's like, and then what's crazy is that they be so focused on the transphobia that they don't realize it's the same exact tools used to oppress them because of their racial identity and their gender identity as women. They don't even realize, because they're so wrapped up in their bigotry, that the same exact tools that you are using out of your mouth to spew towards T.S. Madison is the same energy that's being spewed towards you for your racial and gender identity. And whenever that happens, you want somebody to come to the front for you. And typically, who comes to the front for you? Queer folks come to the front. Other women and queer folks come to the front. And y'all be going back and forth with trans women, and the center of it be cisgender men. That's who's always at the center of the foolishness. And the trans women and the cis women be going back and forth, and that is like, you can hear pussies and dicks just being thrown back and forth. And then there's this thing like, oh, you want to be us, and it's just like, I don't understand. That part, I just don't understand it. Like, if a person wants to be a woman or a man, them existing, them come replanting and regenerating and then coming up and sprouting as a woman, literally, I'm like, oh yes. It means nothing to me. It doesn't make me feel like my position is being taken away. It doesn't make me feel like I'm being replaced in any way. It doesn't. and like again, it's something that I don't even understand the idea of feeling like you're going to be replaced. And I don't know. And then just like with the thing with the racial identity, and like aligning all of these like harmful um adjectives to your racial identity, and then throwing it into a gay person's face and saying, I didn't choose this. And it's just like, oh, okay. You didn't? Oh, wow. We must come together. Let's respect each other's pronouns. However, we can't get mad that TS responded the way she did because Jess disrespected her first. It's not okay that Jess did that when you know that would trigger TS. Leave it alone. Let bygones be bygones and wrap this shit up because we have bigger fish to fry. Somebody says, we're all created either man or woman. Society created this pronoun stuff. Society created your idea and your imagery of what you believe a man should be. Where did you learn how a man should show up? Where did you learn that from? That's not something that came innate. Somebody has been telling you over and over again, this is how you show up if you want to show up as a woman. This is how you show up if you want to show up in society as a man. These are social constructs. That's why gender nonconforming people exist, because what your society has designed for women, I reject it. What your society has designed for men, I reject it. I am not conforming to your social ideas of how a woman or a man should show up. I don't get why people don't understand that even you believing that pink is for girls, that is a social construct, because it wasn't always like that. It switched. And you see how easy and quickly that people adapt, because that has been in the last 200 years, probably less than that, where it switched from blue to pink. I don't know. It's always unnerving to read those comments because they're so hateful. And it's like, and they're coming from black people, and it just be like, I just be looking at the comments like, just reading the comments, they'd be so hateful and mean. And then like you go to the image of the person, and it's a black woman. And I just be like, I feel sorry for your mother. I do. The entire bloodline. It's really sad. And then people excusing it because saying Jess is a comedian. Jess has always got something to say about Madison, but y'all are on here expecting her not to defend herself because she's trans. Just say y'all homophobic and move on. Jess is correct. Why so much hate for the truth? And then that's the part that I don't like. Well, it's the truth. It's like, is that it? Is it the truth? Was it the, was it the truth when they said you were 3/5 of a human being and put it in the law books? You know, we only go by what the law says. I don't know. It's sad, but it's just going to continue to happen, and I'm going to have the same feelings about it. Mama D says Scrappy doesn't know what traumatized means. Oh, he's a 30-year-old man and he doesn't know, but you know what it means and you still continue to traumatize him. Ugh. Probably can't define it after she said after he said her exposing him to strippers was traumatize him. So infantilize him some more by saying he's using words and he doesn't know the meaning of the words and you know the meaning of the words and what you did to him wasn't traumatizing. And this is another example of parents and guardians taking children and doing things with the children that is not necessarily for the child or consulting the parent. Didn't Mama D take Bambi's children and have them baptized without Bambi being there and without notifying Bambi? It would be all the same if she took them to a brothel and introduced them to something that she shouldn't introduce them to without your permission. I would never let my children around Mama D. I wouldn't. I would show this to a judge and I would tell them that I am scared that my children's grandmother will have them sexually assaulted in order to introduce them to masculinity. I don't want her around my children. She already took them. You already have an example of her taking them to get them baptized without your permission or knowledge. Is the same way she can take them to a whorehouse and have them ard in order to introduce them into masculinity. Let's listen to what she says. I already made a video about this. It's on Patreon if you want to listen to my commentary about Mama D having strippers at Scrappy's 14th birthday party. All right, let's listen to what this demon has to say.
You don't know what traumatized. Ask him to find the difference. I dare you to ask him. He don't need no definition. Hell, how many of us were traumatized when we got our ass whooped by a belt by our parents? Am I clear? Was you traumatized when they held one arm and swooped your ass with their belt? Shit, I'm traumatized. I'm still traumatized. But hell, guess what? Life moves on. Life goes on. And for people that are trying to be critical, that did not give me 5 cents for my kids, never stayed up at night and took them to the emergency room. How dare you? Word, Scrappy don't know what traumatized. Ask him to find the difference. I dare you to ask him.
You traumatized us. We believe Scrappy. Parents versus accountability. And this be the problem with a lot of families. If I tell you something traumatized me, who are you to tell me that it didn't? A child's first enemy is an unfit parent. She's not taking accountability. That's sad. Thank God she's not my mother. Mama D is the definition of wrong and strong. Take accountability. Accept the fact that you raised your son, the way that you raised your son was inappropriate. He broke down on TV expressing that. So forget what the outsiders say and hear your son. Shut up and take some accountability. The way how he is with women now is all your fault, lady. Take accountability. And it's not just all her fault, it's also reinforced by his male community because remember, the mother is male identified. So all that she's doing is teaching him something that when he goes out into communities of men, his ideas about women are going to be reinforced. So he has a bunch of people around him reinforcing his ideas um, about women. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on. Hold on a second. Back. Okay, we're back. So what was I talking about now? Oh, T.S. Madison and them. So yeah, we're done talking about that. Oh, Mama D. Mama D. She said Scrappy doesn't know the word traumatized. So she's infantilizing him that he doesn't know what the word means. It says, unfortunately, this is how it is with a 70s and 80 generation of parents. You got a lot of us adults now walking around in our late 30s and mid 40s with experiences that have changed and shaped our lives, but we aren't allowed to talk about it with our parents because they get upset anytime you think you're saying something that makes them look bad. They can't even focus on the fact that you, as their child, are hurt about things that happened in your childhood. They want to shut down the conversation immediately if it makes them look bad. And that's the disgusting, sad part, especially when now they're getting older. They're expecting us to take care of them and look out for them. But a lot of people don't even like their parents. A lot of people don't want to deal with their parents on a daily basis because of all the shit from childhood that has never been addressed. But we have no choice because that's how life works. Sad. Yeah, there's a lot of people that think like that, like the way that Mama D thinks. But I know just based on her believing that a boy should be SA'd into his masculinity, that I would not allow my children around her. I wouldn't want her because she's not a good, she doesn't, that's not a good decision to make for a child, to introduce them to that. And then when you listen to the way that she's talking about the story. Like, first of all, she encouraged him to tell the story. That's one. When he starts telling the story, she interrupts at several parts. And at one point, she interrupts to kind of say, almost like she's offended that the children went and got adults to tell adults that they were about to be exposed to something that adults should only be exposed to. Children should not be exposed to. 14-year-old kids should not be exposed to strippers and things like that. That is adult themes, right? Nothing is wrong with strippers, but those are adult themes. Those are themes for adults. And it's like introducing a child to that in an effort to determine whether they're gay. It's like on top of the assault of the child, you're homophobic. Like, you can't get more trash than that, you know? Um, hold on, let me see, let me go. Some other comments say, like, no child should be living in a whorehouse and sharing beds with tricks. Like, it's okay to say it wasn't okay for me to do that. Mama D, a simple, sincere apology and acknowledgement of his trauma. And how old is Mama D? And she's so ignorant, and it's just so, like, it's really disgusting. It's sad. But like I said in another comment, the same way she took Bambi's children without her permission and had them baptized is the same way she can take them to a whorehouse and have them assaulted without your permission or knowledge. I would show that to the judge, and I would say, listen to her rationale. She believes in us having children assaulted. I don't want my children around her. And I would have a court order. You can't be around my children, lady. You don't make good decisions as it relates to children. And when the children tell you that you traumatize them, you deny their experience and say they don't even know what they're talking about. I dare you to ask. Like, now I'm telling you that my son is dumb. Not only did I have him assaulted, but he's dumb. He doesn't even know what traumatized me. Why are you telling this grown man who has a grown child who is in college? Why are you telling him that he was traumatized? He doesn't even know what that means. Scrappy has a damn near adult child, and you're still trying to make him seem like he's a child and doesn't know what he's talking about. That lets you know that. And then just even the camera direction, just the way her hair looks, she just looks like this old, just trashy woman who has odd views around sexuality, and she is going to teach her children and the children around her. It's just gross. I don't know. I'm not into it. All right, it says, Jennifer Lopez believes she's never truly been loved. It's not that I'm not lovable, they're not capable.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
I didn't love myself. Okay, let's hear what J-Lo has to say.
Lovable.
Because she's a lover
Capable.
girl.
They can't. Do you think you've truly been loved? No. No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone? Yes. You have? Yeah. And when you can't get that love back? What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable. They can't love. They don't have it in them. They need to appreciate the little person inside of them. They need to love them. Yeah. You've been in a relationship with and they gave me what they had. Right. But they gave me all of it. Every time. But it's this much. All the rings, all the things I could ever want. Right. They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But they didn't love you. They didn't. And didn't know you. And I didn't love myself. Do you think you've truly been loved?
It's with Ohani, Diddy, Chris Judd, Ben Affleck, Mario, what's his name? Mark Anthony, Casper, Alex Rodriguez, Ben Affleck. Again, the lover girls never give up. They have hope. I'll be like, ooh, girl. Ew. Mm. Okay, girl. I'm so glad it's Friday. I kind of want to go live right now. Maybe I'll do that. I'll go live a little bit. But what do y'all think about Jennifer Lopez? Like, she's just a lover girl. Nene, I got that. I got that from Nene. Nene calls them lover girls, the girls who just love, who will keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over. They're gonna spend their whole life looking for somebody to spend their life with. It's just gonna be man after man after man after man, experience after experience after experience, and they're just gonna keep doing it. They're gonna do it until they. I don't think they ever get tired. And that's what, the world is banking on, the lover girls. The world banks on the girls with their eyes. I think lover girls have their eyes wound up. They have their eyes wound up. They're never going to stop. They keep the world going. They keep the world going. They do. Jennifer Lopez is a lover girl. Cynthia, a lot of Pisces. She's a Leo though, but a lot of Pisces. Is she a Leo or a Taurus? What is J Lo's? I don't know when her birthday is. Hey Siri, when is Jennifer Lopez's birthday?
Jennifer Lopez was born July 24th, 1969, and is 56 years old.
Thank you. Yes, a Leo. That's why I thought she was a Leo. But yeah, so so I don't think I I think if women, I think women and men alike, I think if they sat down and like, okay, first of all, what is your definition of love? What does it look like? What does love look like? And has that ever been your experience? And I think a lot of people, when they first define what love is for them, because, I feel like everybody has a different definition, what love is for you and what that looks like for you. And if you sit down and you analyze your relationships, you will realize that you have never been in the version of love as you define it. And I think for me, I I find it exhausting to observe women doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. For me, I feel like there has to be some point where you're like, I'm done doing this. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I didn't, it's so funny because I didn't watch the entire episode of Cardi B on Angie Martinez's podcast, but she talks about how you see some of your aunts that are around and they have no man around them. They look happy, they look peaceful, they look like they're having a good time. There's no man around them. And then you ask them, like, what happened? Like, I just got tired. I'm not going to keep doing that. Right? There's this girl that I follow on Instagram where she walks around and she asks random women, she doesn't show their faces or anything, but she asks random women, all different ages, do men ever change? And the answer, every woman says no, they don't. She's asking older women this. Do they change? No, they don't. They don't. So for the lover girls, they keep the world going because it's them who keep wanting to experience something, like chasing, like it's almost like a drug. They're chasing like a drug, trying to get that old thing back, trying to get that feeling of love or whatever. But then someone who's been married so many times, like Jennifer Lopez, to ask her, have you ever felt love? No, I haven't. I've been married. I've done all the things. They've given me what I thought I wanted, but they're not capable. And then it's like, that's when you have to come into the realization, oh, that it's a part of the way that they are also socialized. Because when you look at Ben Affleck, every time he was with Jennifer Lopez, he looks like he was miserable. Like every shot, he looks like he he looks like he's thinking, what am I doing with my life? Is this what my life has come to? That's what Ben Affleck looks like when he's with Jennifer Lopez. That's what he be looking like. What did I do? What did I do? How did I get myself in this? Hold on, these dates run into each other. That's crazy. She needs to be single. None of y'all mattered. No accountability. You don't love yourself. Therefore, you can recognize that love was given to you. It's not them, Jennifer. It's you. It's giving narcissist. But it's also that society, as a society, you have been taught that there's someone for everyone. That's not true. That's not true. There's somebody for everybody. And there's this idea that everybody has a person that they're going to come in contact with and spend a great portion of their life with. And that simply isn't true for people. You may never ever experience whatever your definition of love is. You may never experience that. You may never be partnered. That may never happen for you. Just because people exist doesn't mean that you're entitled to be partnered. And I think society feeds the idea that, oh, there's somebody for everyone. And therefore, you're running around looking for this person that you've been told and promised. You've been promised this person. Women and some men spend their entire lives, some of them spend their entire lives looking for someone to spend their life with. And it's, when do you stop and let all of that go and then like literally experience life? Go on your little hikes, go to your little wine tasting, do all the things you want to do. You don't have to wait for anyone to do and experience this thing with. You will definitely meet people along the way, and some of those people will be in your life for a long time. And you don't have to marry them. You don't even have to be in an intimate relationship with them. As I'm talking about this, I'm craving like crusty bread with balsamic vinegar and olive oil. Yeah, that's what I'm craving. Anyways, so yeah, just live your fucking life, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the truth is that just because people exist, that's why I tell my sons, just because girls exist doesn't mean they're going to like you. There's going to be a portion and a time in your life where you want someone to like you and nobody likes you, but they're not entitled to like you. Just because you exist doesn't mean that people will like you. Just because you exist doesn't mean that you're going to be married. Just because they exist doesn't mean that you're entitled to one of them. And so when you have these type of conversations and when you put things like this, that makes people feel a certain way because their entire life they've been promised there's somebody out there for you. And that's not true for everybody. And I think if you take that, I don't know, it doesn't, like people running on hope, like you don't, I hope one day I find the love of my life. Girl, that may never happen to you. Romanticizing soulmates, romanticizing twin flames, everything having a romantic spin on it. Now it's leading you to be like on this quest for your one true love. Girl, this is not a goddamn movie. I mean, it's your movie. I mean, it is your movie. It is a movie. Okay, I take it back. It's a movie. But for real, that might not be in the cards for you. Are you going to stop your life? Are you going to stop? No, you're not. So shut up. You may never have experienced that love, okay? And that's the truth. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. All right, let's take care of each other. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Y'all let me know, I don't deal with, this is a queer space. I don't deal with, the like, if you are in alignment with Just Hilarious, I'm not, that's out of harmony. I'm not in, I can't, it won't sound good. We can't harmonize. That frequency is not in alignment with what is happening over here. So if you have ideas and operate in a space like a Just Hilarious, this is not going to sound, it's not going to sound good over here for you. And if you get in the comments, I'm just going to delete the comment and you just never to be heard from again, because this is a queer space. Okay. And I don't agree with the way that Jess deals with like her transphobia. I have no grace for her transphobia at all. Like, so just be mindful of the way that you're commenting. There's no, and and literally, like I had to tell a person the other day, your opinion about it carries absolutely no weight, no power. It means nothing. You just have an opinion about it, and it's like, and it means nothing to nobody. It's just, it's not going to move anything. It's not going to change anything, and it doesn't carry any weight. And I think, like India says, if that is where, if you feel powerful being able to do that and say things like that, you should literally try to figure out where it is that you are getting your power from. And that's for real. So, anyways, I got to go. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace. Happy Friday.